Continuing on with Gamesmaster magazine from August of 1999, and this is it, folks, the last video in this series, and it's been such an enjoyable one, and it's one of the favourite parts of whenever I used to pick the gaming magazine up. I used to go straight to. Funny enough, when I first started reading Gamesmaster, I didn't take much notice of the letter section, but for some reason I started reading it, and I started to realise it was one of my favourite parts. Unfortunately, it's also the last physical page. Gmail. Vent your spleen and empty your melon into Gaming Loudest Letters page. Webwise. Dear Gamesmaster, and my goodness, the font is so small on this, it's unbelievable. I'm writing to you as an avid reader of your magazine. I've been buying and reading your magazine since issue 1, and I haven't missed an issue since. I hope you carry on doing good reviews for a long time. I'm writing about the Dreamcast console and the proposed modem that is included in the package. I don't know about Japan, but I know that America has free local calls, meaning a modem over there would be ideal for online gaming. However, this isn't the case in the UK. We have to face huge phone bills every month, and these should get worse if the Dreamcast does include a modem. Do they realise that even though online gaming is the future, that we, UK gamers, are unwilling to splash out tons of cash just to play a few games over the phone? I'm afraid that people will be reluctant to use them apart from the rich few and reviews in mags. That's actually quite a valid point. And that was Jason Duta, Kensington. Right, that's basically might be London. Good point. All BT are doing is providing a network for Sega to run its service on. So unfortunately, it looks like we'll still be paying the rate for local calls every time we play a game on the internet. Play online for 2 hours, and the standard rate of 4p per minute, you'll run up a bill of £4.80. Ouch. Until BT gives us free local calls like our American cousins, we just have to like it or lump it. Bah. Actually, that is a very good point. At last, I recently got the address for Bullfrog from your magazine and wrote to them asking them what the next theme game would be. They said Theme Resort. Do you know about this? Daniel Clay Qualley. We contacted Bullfrog and they told us that they had no intention of releasing a Theme Resort game in the future, but that both Theme Park 2 and Theme Park World will be with us soon. Valid? Premature. Dear Gamesmaster magazine, I am a new reader to your magazine, and I'm getting a bit annoyed with people saying that the Dreamcast is rubbish because it comes from Sega, or the Dreamcast is another Saturn, i.e. a failure. My arguments against the narrow perception are that Sega are a good company, and although that the Saturn was a bit of a cock-up all round, the Dreamcast looks so much better. Also, Sega has a good lineup of games for the UK launch, including Sonic Adventure, Pen and Sega Rally 2. And soon after the launch we can expect Shenmue, which promises to be incredible as long as the gameplay can match the graphics. All good reasons not to bury the Dreamcast just yet. Lee Skinner, Southampton. Never a true word scrolled across the pages. Have a look at the coverage we gave Sega's E3 stand last issue, and you'll see that Dreamcast is going to be a console to contend with. Sony has recently upped the stakes by announcing that the PlayStation 2 will debut at the Tokyo Game Show in September, but Sega will have ample time to establish its new machine. With games like Soul Calibur already wowing us, it's here, so we can't wait to see the full potential of the Dreamcast released. That is true, although unfortunately the Dreamcast was actually wiped out soon after. Spike Out coming. To be totally honest, I don't think much of the Dreamcast at first. Oh? I thought that it would be the same thing as the Saturn and I would be better off keeping my N64. But when I went down to my new arcade in my hometown of Tunbridge Wells, I saw a 4-player link-up Spike Out digital battle online. I played it with 2 of my mates and it rocked. It was one of the best games I've ever played. When I got home, I browsed through GM issue 74 and found out an arcade preview of Spike Out. I saw it in specifications that there was an 82% of it being converted to the Dreamcast. Is the title coming out on the Dreamcast, and is there any news of it being started yet? If it does come out on Dreamcast, I'll definitely buy one to save some to save me some arcade money. That's true. Even though you go to an arcade, you probably spend like £5, and in order to play one game from the actual console it's converted to, you'd have to buy the console, the game, memory card, potentially a new TV, and also an additional controller. It's been difficult to trace whether this game is going to actually make it onto the Dreamcast. Arguments against highlights the incredible complexity of board used in the arcade version, while the arguments for include the fact that we've seen both House of the Dead 2 and Diamond Cop make near-perfect conversions to Sega's new console. We reckon there has been a spike out on Dreamcast eventually. We'll keep you posted. Never heard of it since. Dear Gamesmaster, I cannot agree more with a letter from Chris Smith in GM issue 82 expressing his disappointment with Metal Gear Solid. I completed the game in a day, which hardly seemed worth £40. I also managed to see both endings and collect all the special items, including the bandana, stealth camouflage, and digital camera. Needless to say, I was pretty annoyed. Nearly all the magazine reviews of MGS that I read said that the replay values were already extended by these special items. Admittedly, using the stealth camouflage was fun for a while, but using the other items doesn't alter the outcome of the game in any way. How you or any other magazine can warrant such a high score for a game which has such short lifespan is beyond me. I remember when the games were a major factor, scoring, I should say, but now it seems that the graphics and gameplay are only for factors. Maybe after playing Final Fantasy VII and Zelda, all games seem shallow in comparison, but I thought that game that received a 90% plus score in virtually all magazines would give them a run for the money. I was wrong. Paul Atkinson, Tyne and Weir. This has become a common criticism at MGS, and it does seem that a bit of a lacking in the replay value. As we said, despite its shortnesses, MGS still offers some of the standout moments that will be copied for years to come. Just keep an eye out for how many titles include stealth gameplay in the future. Hopefully, the issue of longevity will be rectified when the VR mission sequel reviewed next issue appears. And then there's obviously another letter. It says, Dear Gamesmaster, in response to Chris, something. And the last but not least star letter, X-Wing over. Dear Gamesmaster, I have been a Star Wars fan all my life, and I'm looking forward to the film and games of Star Wars Episode 1. However, I've played and completed every Star Wars game except X-Wing Alliance, because I'm currently banned from my PC on every platform, and I'm worried that when two new films arrives, developers will stop making games based on their older trilogy. For example, I love the old X-Wing games and consider myself a rather good pilot, but to think that I won't be able to see another fly is heartbreaking. Will there be any other future Star Wars games based on the old trilogy? Sadly, it's time to hang up those X-Wing G suits, as LucasArts will be concentrating on games based upon the first trilogy from now on. Rumours indicate that may be an occasional mission pack or budget line relating to the original titles, but this will be infrequent, so the next time you climb behind the controls of a Star Wars ship, it's probably be an N1 Starfighter or a Sith Interceptor. Game consoles. When's the games of his choice care of the folks at Games Console? And that's it. From August of 1999, pretty much every page, excluding the advertisement sections, has been read. I sincerely hope you've enjoyed this series. I have enjoyed uploading it. And thank you very much for all the new subscribers and anybody who's actually watching, including all on my TikTok channels as well. Yeah, it's a bit of an emotional one because I've got other content that I can actually review now. Well, I've got other videos in the pipeline, I should say. But apart from that, one last look at it before it gets packed away for a long, long time. Yes, Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil on the N64, I should say. 40 winks. Oh, yes. That's how a VMU should be looking like, not like how it did look. Silent Hill. Ooh, Tenju, Stealth Assassin. And I'll probably leave it on that. Quite a nice graphic, actually, even though the film was a bit pants. Thank you very much for watching, and I will be seeing you in other videos with other content soon. Thank you very much. See you soon.